It all started in San Diego for Jake Peavy. It's where he became one of the most dominant arms in the game and took home a Cy Young in '07. Now, the veteran has become an emotional leader for the Giants. Tonight, Peavy faces his former team for just the fourth time in his career. Giants Padres, and it's next.
It's Wednesday Night Baseball here at Petco Park as we get ready to continue this series. It's Game 2, Giants and Padres. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants with a really nice win yesterday. They had Buster Posey out of the lineup. He's in the lineup today. He's playing at first base, and Jake Peavy's on the hill. And this has got to be fun for Jake Peavy. Look, it's an important game, and now he's pitching on his own home turf.
And I think it makes it personal that he's coming back here to San Diego, a city that he's never won against the Padres here in San Diego. He didn't have a great start in April when he faced them. I think he's been grinding on that ever since. But more than that, the Giants need to stay pace. They need to keep winning ball games, putting pressure on the Dodgers. As you pointed out, Buster Posey back in the lineup tonight, so they're feeling pretty good about their lineup tonight. So hopefully it can add up to a win.
And Trevor Brown once again behind the dish. Good matchup. It's Cashner and it's Peavy. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Special Studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
you by Jack in the Box. Taste the new spicy nacho chicken sandwich munchie meal tonight, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Back here at Petco Park as we get ready for Giants baseball, game 2 of this series. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. Here in San Diego, it's a nice calm night, 75 degrees, humidity at 76%, and scattered clouds, and we don't care. See, Cashner takes the field, and the lineup that he'll be facing looks like this. It'll be Pagan, Diaz, Duffy, and then Buster Posey, and he hits well in this ballpark. Followed by Crawford, Bird, and Tomlinson. The kid, Trevor Brown, he'll do the catching, followed by Jake Peavy.
On the hill tonight for the Giants, on the hill tonight for the Padres will be the right-hander Cashner. I got that right. Cashner in 29 starts, startling numbers when you consider his stuff. 6-15 with 4.25 ERA, 152 strikeouts, 173 and 2/3 innings, and his stuff can be electric. I mean, he's a tall guy, 6'6", with a high 3/4 release. He's right over the top, and he will have tilt on his fastball. His fastball goes mid to high 90s. He's got a curveball, very sharp breaking slider, and a changeup. And he'll throw any one of those 4 pitches anytime. Let's take a look at the Padres defensively, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Upton, Jankowski, and Kemp. Good arms on the corners. Jerko, Solarte, they'll be on the left side of the infield. Spangenberg and Wallace on the right side. Derek Norris, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Giants winning last night by a final of 4-2. They find themselves 6 back of the Dodgers with 12 games left. Dodgers will play at home tonight against the D-backs, so we'll keep an eye on that game as this one moves along. Angel Pagan's going to lead things off. So Pagan waiting patiently, and Cashner throws the first pitch of the ball game, and it's outside. So we get started at 7:11, so that's a minute late. The 1-0 delivery to Pagan, and Pagan takes low. Pagan last night 1 for 4, his only hit ended up being the difference in the game. He had a 2-run home run just over the leaping Matt Kemp in right field. 3-0. This was the home run. Watch Kemp. Looks like he had a beat on it, and he came up empty. Think he'd like to have another crack at that one?
I do.
I bet he would.
That was the difference in the game.
A 3-0 strike. Cashner took a little off at 96. Pagan lifetime against Cashner is 3 hits and 8 at bats. And he fouls this one in and out of the glove of Norris.
Now you take a look at the fastball and what Pagan has done in the month of September. I mean, he is killing the fastball, and the slugging percentage way up if you compare it to the other months of the year. It's nice to get your legs back, and that really has been the difference in the way he's been able to drive the ball.
And the walk. So that's how this game gets started. Here's Diaza. Diaza hitting .262. 7 home runs, 33 driven in. Those are combined numbers. Last night, a couple of hits and 4 at bats. And the pitch is down low, and that's called by home plate umpire Stu Sherwater. Wes, Stanley, and Rayburn are the umpires from first to third. First time we've seen Stu Sherwater.
So we will learn him together. He's a tall umpire. And he likes to call fastballs right down the middle.
Yeah, he's got those down pat. Pagan started to go, but now holds up as the pitch is down low.
If you look at fastball velocity and you look at the top 5 guys in the National League, well, you'll see Andrew Cashner in there. He averages 94.8 miles per hour with the fastball, and that puts him in the Elite 5. As I mentioned, I mean, he does not lack for stuff. It's really hard to believe that this guy has lost 15 games coming into tonight's ballgame.
Not close. It's 3-1. There's Duffy on deck. Diaz has only had 3 lifetime at bats against Cashner. He's 1 for 3. See if Pagan goes. He does. And it's ball 4.
Wow. Back-to-back walks and run out of bed. The Giants get a rally for absolutely free.
And it chases the pitching coach, Darren Balsley, out of the dugout. And that's meeting on the mound is brought to you by Ring Central Business Communications, made simple.
Now, this is all about the fastball. Now, keep in mind, Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, he was down there in the bullpen watching Andrew Cashner warm up. You don't leave that bullpen unless you have a feel of the fastball. And this is what he's been missing with. So I would think if Balsley had a concern, is for the concentration maybe of Cashner. He's not zoned in. It's the only way you can explain him missing with that many fastballs.
So here's Duffy. Duffy hitting at .299. He had a rough night last night, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
And I think that was the message from Balsley. Throw your other pitches. Fastball's not working for you. And he opened up this at bat with a slider.
So a quick 0-2. Low and away, so Duffy taking a close pitch.
That's a good 0-2 pitch right there.
Confidence in your eye right there.
Well, 4 strikeout night last night for Duffy.
Look out. So you got to pay attention.
Hands up. 3 of those 4 strikeouts he had last night were called strike 3s. It was a big strike zone last night with DJ Rayburn.
Gasser at the belt to pitch. Inside to Duffy. It's 2-2.
He reached back there with his velocity too. He's hitting at 97. This becomes a very big pitch for Cashner, having already walked 2 guys on. And you see the lifetime numbers that Posey has against Cashner. They're very, very good.
Duffy stays alive off the shin guard of either Norris or the home plate umpire, Sherwater. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Giants are 7-3 in their last 10. The Padres are 3-7. Tell you what, I give Duffy credit. After you strike out 4 times, you start taking close pitches. He has no problems with that.
Oh, you're right. And remember, 3 of those were called strike 3s. So either believe in your eye or you don't. And he does.
And he just proved that in this at bat. Runners are going to go, and there's a bouncing ball. It's hit to Wallace. Both runners will advance, and Posey's going to come up with runners at second and third. So a night off for Buster Posey last night. He'll come in hitting .327. 19 home runs, 93 runs batted in. Does have a couple of lifetime home runs off of Andrew Cashner. Cashner, a look to second. And Posey takes in tight. You saw the numbers earlier. Pretty good ownage. 11 for 22 for Posey against Cashner. 3 extra base hits. 2 of those hits home runs.
Well, and with that type of ownage in an open first base, I don't expect him to get a whole lot to hit.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Except for that pitch right there.
Two balls and a strike. Giants still under 500 on the road. They're 6 games under 500. Trying to get to 80 wins tonight. 2-2.
Good hard slider. That's the best breaking ball he's throwing tonight. Absolute perfect location with a hard break.
And with the base open, he might try to throw that same pitch again. Posey, kind of an emergency swing that got Norris on the shin guard.
Yeah, I think it got him on the knee. It's going to take a little time. Watch the right knee. Oh, man. You think, well, how can that hurt with all the padding he has there? If it hits you on the knee, it absolutely lights you up. You could put 2 shin guards on there, you'd still feel that. It took his breath away.
Brown got one in the throat last night. You try to shake it off, and then you get worried when you can't. And it's not likely that Norris is going to wake up tomorrow and not feel a thing.
It's going to bug him the rest of the night. I can't say enough about the toughness you have to have to be a catcher at any level, but when you're doing it at this level with the velocities that you get and the nightly dings that you get, I mean, you better be tough, because you're going to get dinged up.
Two and two with good speed on the bases for the Giants here in the first. And this pop-up is not going to do it. And Jerko making the catch. So 2 outs. And that'll bring up Crawford. Crawford's done all right against Cashner. He's 5 for 11 with a home run. Had a couple of hits yesterday. Base hit knocked in a run in the game last night. He had swings last night like he did when he was swinging the bat really well in the middle of the season. First pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, throughout most of the year, when his legs were healthy, you very seldom saw him get off balance in a swing. I mean, he always got back leg in the swing. And he got hit in the calf about 2 weeks ago, and it really took his legs out. So he spent some time away from the game healing it up. He's just now starting to get that balance back in his swing. And I agree with you. His at-bats last night were solid.
See that back foot on the back line. In the dirt. Padres trying to salvage the season. They're 11 games under 500. One and two to Crawford. Out of play. He shoots this one down the left field line. Where to go?
Easter egg hunt. Well,
one ball and two strikes. Crawford with a base hit to right field. One run's going to score. Here comes Diaza. Kemp's throw is way offline. Crawford into second. He's got an RBI single. It's 2-0 Giants. Cashner was a pitch away from getting out of it, and he didn't.
Now another 2-strike, 2-out RBI base hit from Crawford, who has done it all year long. And it's a fastball right on the inside corner. I mean, bent arm hack to defend that area. So I don't believe it was a mistake from Cashner. Just nice hitting from Brandon Crawford to deliver in a clutch at bat. And it's the 79th and 80th RBIs of the year.
And the throw by Kemp really allowed Crawford to get into second, so that's a mistake. And here's Bird. Bird tardy, it's no balls and one strike. 1 for 4 last night for Bird. 3 for 10 lifetime against Andrew Cashner. So the 2 walks come back to bite Cashner here in the first inning. Crawford's, he's got such a huge lead. He could steal third. At least you would think he could. And they're just giving Bird the middle of the diamond.
That's a huge lead from Crawford.
So Peavy's going to take the mound with the lead. And Bird strikes out on 3 pitches, and that'll end the inning. Giants on the board twice on the Crawford base hit. Peavy coming out. base. It'll look like this. It'll be Solarte, Spangenberg, and then Kemp. Justin Upton's got some ownage on Peavy. Yes, he does. Wallace, Jerko, and then Norris. It'll be Jankowski. He'll hit 8th, and Cashner, of course, will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the right-hander Jake Peavy, 34-year-old, 180 pounds, 6 foot 1 inch right-hander. 7-6 on the year with a 4.08 ERA, and for Peavy, he's been fantastic. I mean, in the last 12 outings, the Giants are 9-3. When you take your at-bats against him, you're going to see a high 80s, low 90s fastball with sink, low three-quarter release. He's got a great changeup, curveball, slider combination.
So here's Solarte hitting at 273. Myers was in the original lineup, but his wrist is bothering him, so they scratched him. Solarte moved up to the leadoff spot. There's a strike. And replacing Myers, who was slated to play center field, is Travis Jankowski. To the back leg, 2 balls and 1 strike. Now Solarte 0 for 8 lifetime against Peavy. Did have a couple of hits last night. And he skies one out to right for Bird. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the Giants defensively, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Deaza, Pagan, and Bird. Best arm in left field. Crawford and Duffy on the left side. Tomlinson and Posey on the right side. Posey back in the lineup. Nice to see. And Trevor Brown, the rook. He'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Spangenberg hitting 269. He hit a home run last night. His 4th of the year. A couple of hits. And that pitch is low and away.
First inning for any pitcher, you're going to just try and find out how far wide you can go off the plate to get a strike. Everybody's wondering what kind of strike zone they're going to have tonight with Sherwater. Nobody knows them on the Giants team.
I guess it'll take a little while to get to know him. Three and 1. Kemp is on deck. And a full count, so Peavy comes back in after falling behind.
Now, one thing's for sure with Sherwater, the plate umpire, you don't have to put it between the knees to get a strike.
And the walk.
3rd walk of the game, and it hasn't been a tight strike zone. That last pitch easy to call, not close.
So here's Kemp. Kemp took an 0 for 4 last night. Had a solid season. 23 home runs, 98 driven in. Swing and a miss. Spangenberg can run, so the Giants will keep an eye on him. He's got 9 steals. 4 for 18. Kemp against Peavy. Upton on deck. Bottom of the 1st inning on a very comfortable night here in San Diego. A lot of Giants fans here. do we know that? Well, we've met everyone on the street.
Just about. Tremendous attitude in the streets of San Diego. A lot of orange and black walking around, enjoying the downtown area. It's a great place.
Inside corner, he gets the call for 1-2.
Matt Kemp having a birthday today, 31 years old.
Blocked and then caught by Brown. It's 2-2. So Peavy trying to figure things out of the stretch. Padres against the West are 32-36. Giants haven't dominated the West. They're 3 games over 500 against the West. Runner goes. Slowly hit to Crawford. Crawford will take his time because Kemp got jammed. You get jammed, you don't get out of the box very quick. So down to second goes Spangenberg.
Well, I think most guys get jammed, don't even want to run to first. And that was a major jam sandwich.
So here's Upton. See Upton's numbers. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year.
Good numbers. I mean, despite the batting average, he's an on-base percentage of .342. That's good. Got good power numbers.
First pitch low.
The other thing too about Upton, I mean, he's been pretty durable in his career. He runs out there. He plays. Great numbers lifetime against Peavy.
Peavy being very careful and Brown having to work behind the dish. It's 2-0. Brett Wallace is on deck. Two balls and no strikes. Upton with a drive to right. Bird back. Berg is going to make the catch. And then he falls up against the wall, and that will retire the side. He's not a young man, but he played that play like he was.
Come visit our newest stores in Pleasanton and Gilroy.
Tomlinson waves at the first pitch. It's no balls and 1 strike. 2-0 Giants. Tomlinson takes a strike. So Cashner, after walking the first 2, has settled in to throw strikes.
Last pitch, absolutely perfect location at the knees, outside corner. But he could nail the low location down around the knees. I mean, he's really tough because of the tilt that he gets.
Tomlinson did an amazing thing. He hit that ball and he did not break his back.
That is amazing. That was way inside his kitchen.
Two and two.
I mean, you get hit on the bat where that ball hit his. You got to think about calling timeout and getting another pair of bat gloves on.
Yeah, or hitting left-handed. Good take. 3 and 2. There's Trevor Brown on deck. No swing. Wow. You know, the Giants are doing what they did to Cashner in San Francisco. Pitch count is up there.
Get the pitch count. Well, a reminder, Wednesday, September 30th is Full Clubhouse Night, a tribute to Full House. Your special event package will include a collector's edition Giants Full Clubhouse snow globe featuring the famous painted ladies near Alamo Square and a ticket to the game versus the Dodgers. Go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
So here's Brown. Brown was 2 for 4 yesterday. Tomlinson goes. And Tomlinson is going to. No, they got him. So I guess Kerwin Daly said they got him on the back foot.
Well, he didn't want to leave. That's just telling the bench, you need to look at this one.
This is kind of a hard call for an umpire. We do see it all the time.
They got him.
I think they did.
Nice throw, Eric Norris. I mean, Jerko makes the play, ball off the bag, but staying with it, putting the tag on.
So Tomlinson thrown out. That's the 3rd time he's been thrown out trying to steal, as this has bounced foul.
Tagged him on the leg right there, and the hand never got there. You're talking 3 inches. That's how close it was.
One and 2.
Combined year for Trevor Brown, 261, a couple of big flies, 27 RBIs.
And you got him.
Not this time.
2 down. Here's Peavy. Peavy's had a good year swinging the bat. 7 for 31. It really all started out in Colorado when he whacked out 2 doubles. And then later on, a couple of games later, he hit a home run.
Pretty straight away. Not a lot of depth in the outfield to defend against Peavy, despite the extra base hits he's had this year.
strike. Pagan's on deck. Should Peavy reach here with 2 outs. Taps it foul, 2-2.
You're right about the pitch count. I mean, you should have 30 or less after the second inning. And with 48 pitches under his belt already, you can see just how good the Giants have been about getting some throws out of Cashner.
Peavy out of play, so he'll force Cashner to throw another pitch. I'm going to say Cashner had like 80 in the 4th inning.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And Peavy is out swinging, and that's going to end the inning. Bottom of the 2nd coming up. Wallace will lead things off.
You buy Pete's Cold Brew. Keep it smooth.
2-0 Giants. We're going to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Time now for our AT&T U-verse Rewind. We go back to September 11, 2015. That's right. This year, Jake Peavy against the Padres got his first career win against his former team in San Francisco. 7 strong innings, 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run, no walks, a couple strikeouts. He did it all at 79 pitches. Oh, by the way, he also had an RBI single just to stay in shape. That's our AT&T U-verse Rewind.
So here's Wallace. Wallace hit a home run last night. He was 2 for 2. Came in as a pinch hitter and then stayed in the game. So coming off the bench, a bench player hitting .342. That's pretty valuable. Peavy to Wallace, who takes a strike. Overshift is on. There are teams all over the place that look for big guys that can hit the ball out of the park coming off the bench, and the Padres have one right here. And he bounces this one foul.
Well, this is a former first-round pick. Cardinals, 2008, had the 13th pick overall. They picked Wallace. And this is his 8th year of professional baseball, and he's always had great potential. But to be able to fill a niche where you can come off the bench and provide a great at bat and some power, I mean, that is a true commodity in this day and age.
Got him.
Good curveball. First strikeout for Jake Peavy.
Giants active today in the transaction department. You see, Avery Adrianza, wouldn't you know it, he got that ground ball off the bat of Wallace last night, hit him in the head. He got a concussion. Perez put on the 60. The kid from San Jose, Kevin Franson, is back in the big league. So good for Kevin. And let's hope Adrianza is going to be fine. Another concussion. Giants have 4 players that are dealing with concussions. What did Bruce Bochy say in his office? He said, I think I got one too.
Well, we've never seen anything like this. And talking with Giants head trainer Dave Gresham, he says, you know what? These guys cannot play right now. You cannot have them get into a batter's box and face a 95+ mile an hour fastball the way that they are. They're dizzy. Their equilibrium is not what it should be. And all of them are dealing with it in their own way. We don't know if we're going to see any of them back.
This was the play that caused the concussion. Wallace hit a really sharp ground ball, and it just kind of came up and hit Adrianza first on his leg, and then it came up and clipped him.
Complained of dizziness after the game.
That's a shot to right, and that's a hit.
They ran him through the concussion protocol, and he did not pass. So with Blanco, Aoki, Belt, and now Adrianza on the shelf with concussions, the Giants bench thinned out. They had to make a move. Juan Perez on the 60-day, and Kevin Franson back in the big leagues.
So here's Norris. Norris 0 for 1 yesterday. He came in as a pinch hitter, and Romo struck him out. And he hits a little pop-up that is going to fall for a base hit. So Norris dumps one into right field.
Well, they had been playing Norris to pull, and they had Kelby Tomlinson about 6-7 steps out of straightaway second base positioning, and that is the difference in the play. Not a whole lot that Jerko could do at first base. No chance for him to take third. He had to wait and see if Tomlinson was going to be able to catch that ball. So from that perspective, the Giants catch a break.
So once Crawford comes in, that gives you an idea that Crawford's wanting to know what signs are being given so that he knows what's coming. Brown's conversation with Peavy may have had something to do with something else. So here's Jankowski. And he takes outside for a ball. Dodgers won, D-backs won that game in the 3rd inning.
Jankowski, a tough guy to double up. He's got good speed.
Bounces this one to Posey. Posey will get the out there, and that's it. And that's the play, and you got to get it one out for sure.
Well, that's a big play, as it takes a runner out of scoring position. But there was some risk involved. It had to be a perfect throw. His feet thinking second base the whole time he got the ball. Perfect throw.
He doesn't look too shook up about things, does he, at first?
No, he looks completely relaxed, like he's been playing there every day all year. To be quite honest with you, I mean, anything he would do would not surprise me. Great athlete.
Cashner's 5 for 57. Big guy. Gets good wood on it. You got to be careful. So it's 1 ball and no strikes with Solarte on deck. And a bouncing ball to Duffy. Duffy's got it, and that's going to end the inning. So nice job by Peavy. No damage done. Top of the order coming up.
Business communications made simple.
Well, the Willie Mack Award is an annual honor bestowed upon the most inspirational player on the team. It's voted by the Giants players, coaches, training staff, and Giants fans. Now, this year's award will be presented on Friday, October 2nd, and it's prior to the Giants-Rockies game. Arrive early as past Willie Mack Award winners will be on hand as Willie announces this season's honoree. So get your tickets, sfgiants.com. And we've got the list in front of us, and we've not ever seen Jack Clark at this award ceremony, and it says he's going to be there. It'll be good to see Jack.
He's the first guy to ever win the Willie Mack Award.
Here's Pagan. Pagan drew a walk in the first. Larry Herndon will be there. Darrell Evans, my partner, will be there, who won the award twice. Spire, Drovecki, Tiny Felder, Kurt Manwaring, Mark Leiter, J.T. Snow, and Benji Molina. Those will be the former players as Pagan fouls it. And coaching staff: Dunston, Gardner, Matt Cain, Ryan Vogelsong, Buster Posey, Hunter Pence, and Madison Bumgarner. And who knows, somebody might just show up that we don't know.
Could happen.
That we don't know about. We will know them. Strike 3 call. Pagan gone, and he knew it.
Well, he just guessed wrong. 4th strikeout, and boy, after Cashner has got his groove going, he has been a different pitcher than what we saw in the first inning.
Marvin Bernard, there's a former winner, with Irvin Higueras over on our Spanish radio side. We were kidding Marvin that Irwin was not letting him get a word in edgewise. Irwin kidded back and said, well, I need to take advantage of doing a game without Tito where I can actually talk. Maybe we said that on behalf of Irwin. You think that's how it went?
Yeah, I think that's how it went. But Tito can talk.
Tito probably in Reno watching this. And then again, maybe not. But he does love the Giants.
Yes, he does. He's a baseball man.
One pitch. The Aza foul. Barbara Bernard once had a walk-off against the Dodgers. First year of the ballpark. Higo.
Good little player. Dusty Baker was not afraid to give out hugs.
You know what? I think Dusty was pretty excited about that.
He was a great manager for the Giants.
Piazza putting up a fight. It's 1-2. And it's 2-2. We got an old ballpark now.
Yeah, you're right. 16th season of Giants baseball at AT&T.
You have to like it. You can't go back to Candlestick.
No.
We flew over it the other day, leaving SFO, and there is no Candlestick.
The escalator, gone.
Gone.
Dugouts, gone.
The infield dirt, still the same. Really bad. And a full count to Diaz.
It never bothered you.
It bothered me a lot.
You picked it clean.
Not on all occasions, but it just had everything to do with the wind. It just dried everything up. And the walk.
Cashner followed that one in. You can't believe it. It would have been a pitcher strike, but we've seen it called a strike, which is why he's upset by it. Nevertheless, fourth walk issued by Cashner, and it's a fastball outside corner, right between the knees.
Well, I mean, the whole point is it doesn't mean if you hit the catcher's mitt, it's a strike. In that particular case, it did look like a good pitch because he did hit the mitt, but the mitt was not in a strike zone. Here's Duffy. Diaz twists his ankle coming off the bag.
Yes, he did.
What's going on?
Well, you know, this is concern. They're going to have him looked at.
Are they going to look at the play?
I think they are.
So they think they got him.
He didn't really have a lead going to second either.
Or maybe he slipped off the bag.
I can see why they would challenge it, but I don't know if there's enough there to overrule it. Of course, after what we saw last night, we have no clue what they're going to do in New York. Like he may have rolled his ankle a bit.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
I mean, this is a big play if it doesn't get overruled, because the Padres would lose their ability to protest a call, to have one reviewed, replayed.
So Diaz is picked off, and he limps back. So that's the double whammy.
That's when you go sit on the opposite side of the dugout bench, away from the manager. There's the contact Yeah, they got him.
So now Duffy will hit with nobody on, and he'll get tied up. It's 0-1.
Dave Greshner over there taking a look at Diaz. He seems to be all right. More ticked off about getting picked off than anything else. I don't blame him.
There's something that usually bothers you. Castro threw that ball in the dirt. He asked for another ball. And a strike. It's 1-2.
If you're a pitcher and you get a scuff on a baseball, if you know what to do with it, it's free movement. And young pitchers like Cashner who don't know what to do with it, they're missing an opportunity. Because with the scuff on a baseball, if you hold a scuff a certain way, you just throw a fastball and you're going to get movement. And that's movement for free without having to twist your arm or grip it some particular way or pronate early through it.
And that'll do it. 5 strikeouts for Cashner. It remains 2-0.
Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company. The Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Well, log on to csnbayarea.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting to the 2015 season, breaking news, video, special features, and more. Only on csnbayarea.com. It's a great picture of Alex, but he doesn't look like that anymore. It's been a long season for Alex. He's a little worn down.
He didn't have as much hair.
Plus, he threw out that tie and coat a long time ago. Once he reached the comfort zone of what he was doing on Comcast, he just forget it. Tie, gone. Coat, gone. Forgot, didn't shave anymore.
40 extra pounds.
40?
All right, 50.
If you include spring training, that's about 8 a month.
That's a rough pace. That's a rough pace.
Just a bit high to Solarte. There's Alex.
There's Alex. So he just shot our whole speech down.
Yeah, because the only reason I said it is I thought he was at home watching. Or in our studios.
They were pretty fun.
Well, you know what? Then we weren't talking about Alex. We were talking about Papa.
You're not going to quit till you get us both in trouble with everybody.
High to left field for Piazza. John Miller. See John. He's ready to head over. Dave Fleming is out of sight. I'll be back here in the 7th.
It's John's son Alex on the right of your screen. Lee Jones, our engineer, up top. Alex working on his PhD at Arizona State.
Spangenberg. Spangenberg drew a walk in the first inning. And he takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and it's a ball and a strike. 2 hits in the game for the Padres, and those hits were back-to-back in the second. And it's now 1-2. Kemp to follow. Slowly hit. Past Peavy. Tomlinson. Got him. Nice play.
0 margin for error. And the beauty of this play is the quickness to which he gets it out of his glove into the hand and to Posey. I mean, from a dead sprint. And that is absolute perfection. And they got him just by about 3 inches. Padres are looking at the play, but he's out. They'll look at it one time. What a beautiful play from Kelby Tomlinson.
So here's Kemp. Kemp bounced out. And he takes down low. And a bullet, and it's under Duffy. So Kemp's going to have a base hit. That's a 2-out hit, and that'll bring up Upton.
Absolute laser. One hopper, just cannot get the glove down in time.
I mean, there's a perfect example, Mike, of how if you start low with your glove, it's easier to come up than it is to try to stab at it going down. Start low and come up. Upton hit a ball to right that Bird tracked down on the track. Made a nice play. And he takes a healthy rip and he fouls it straight back.
No, he's not thinking about defense right there.
No balls and 1 strike. This was the catch that Bird made, and it really was a terrific play.
We've seen some great defense tonight. That definitely is the star of the show so far. That ended the threat for the Padres back in the first inning, and that would have been at least 1 run. Got a hero's welcome coming back to the dugout. Earned it.
Popped him up. It should be Crawford. It is. And that's going to end the inning. John Miller will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th, 2-0 Giants.
On to the top of the 4th inning. Giants on top of the Padres 2-0. Here to tell you all about it, John Miller. Welcome.
All right, thank you. And Buster Posey popped up to short his first time. Leads off against Andrew Kashner. Fastball is popped up foul. Coming over from first base is Wallace, and well back into the crowd. Strike one. Buster Posey has had great success in the past against Kashner. 11 hits and 23 lifetime at bats against him, and 3 walks besides. But 0 for 1 so far tonight.
He was up there looking for one thing, and he got it. That was a challenge fastball on the first pitch.
And that is a called strike with the breaking ball. So Buster behind in the count 0-2. The Giants ahead 2-0. A 2-run first inning. Brandon Crawford knocking in the runs. 0-2 pitch. Norris up the line, and he's got it in foul ground. So Buster is 0 for 2.
Now, Kashner had him reaching a couple times in that at bat, and it's not often that you see Posey reach.
So here comes Brandon Crawford. Crawford got the 2-out, 2-strike single in the first inning to knock in the 2 runs by which the Giants are leading still as we play the 4th. Dodgers and D-backs in a 1-1 tie, top of the 5th, meanwhile, up in L.A. And that's 0-1.
Changeup. I've seen many changeups from Kashner. For the most part, it's just been pretty much 2 types of fastballs and the slider. Posey talking it over with Bam Bam Mullins about his swing. Loop.
Kashner. And another changeup. 86 miles an hour. 2 down.
He's throwing more changeups to left-handed hitters than he is to right-handed hitters. But he is definitely in a nice groove.
So here's Marlon Byrd. Byrd struck out his first time. Giants have only 1 hit. It was Crawford's first inning single to to knock in the 2 runners who had walked to start that inning. And that's called a strike to Bird. Padres have 3 hits, but no runs. Strike 2. 0-2 the count.
It's the first time we have seen Stu Sherwater, the plate umpire, strike zone today, and he's been very good, very consistent.
That is drilled into right field. So Marlon Bird with an 0-2 count. Got a fastball, and he knew just what to do with it. That's the second hit for the Giants. Kelby Tomlinson now, who walked his first time. Tomorrow's game will start an hour earlier. 6:10 start. Madison Bumgarner will take the ball for the Giants, looking for his 19th win up against Ian Kennedy, who was a 15-game loser, but a guy who's been a nemesis to the Giants in the past. 1-1 to Tomlinson. It's been beautiful since the Giants arrived in San Diego. In fact, it was kind of warmer than usual Sunday and Monday. Humid.
Absolutely ideal conditions for baseball.
1 ball, 1 strike.
But you can say that about San Diego just about every day of the season.
Absolutely ideal for baseball. Absolutely ideal for life.
Indeed.
One and 2. Really blown a couple of fastballs by Tomlinson here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tomlinson in his first little bit of a slump in the big leagues. He kept his average up above 300 for a good long while, but it's been plummeting here lately.
Remember, every guy that comes up out of the minor leagues is a puzzle. And when they figure you out, it's going to be up to you to make the adjustment. The league thinks they can pitch you on one side of the plate, one location consistently, and you can't do much with it. Well, you got to figure out how to make the adjustments to combat that. One of his strengths is you could get him once below the strike zone. Very seldom you get him twice in the same at bat below the zone. He's got a pretty good discipline to the strike zone.
Bird at first. Wallace on the bag with him. Bird has not done a whole lot of base stealing. He's stolen 2 bases and none as a Giant so far this year. 2 down, 2-2 the count. And it's a full count now, 3-2.
And we've watched the Padres pretty consistently pound that inside corner at the belt to Tomlinson. That and hard sliders.
Trevor Brown would be next. Wallace has vacated the bag at first base. He'll play behind Bird, who will be off and running with this pitch. There goes Bird. Slow chopper. Spangenberg across the body, and he got it. So it goes for Tomlinson right now. 1 hit, 1 left. 2-0 Giants. Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats of the game, passed away last night at age 90, and the baseball world was saddened to hear it. Yogi Berra was not just a great player, he was a manager, and he was beloved, transcending even the game of baseball. One time managed the Yankees, also managed the New York Mets. Yogi Berra, Lawrence Peter Berra, age 90, passed away last night, and we miss him. Yogi Berra, and a lot of people don't remember this. It sounds almost impossible when you think about what an icon he is as a Yankee. When I first met Yogi in 1986, he was the bench coach for the Houston Astros. And I got a chance to do a game, an NBC Saturday game of the week with Tony Kubek. And there was Yogi Berra at the batting cage before the game. And I had a chance to talk to Yogi. I'd never met him. And he gave me all this great info about the Astros and different guys' strengths and what was going on with the team, who was hot, who was not. And he couldn't have been more accessible, could have been friendlier. As Brett Wallace leading it off here with a pop-up, and Matt Duffy. And there is one away. In Montclair, New Jersey, near Yogi's home, is the Yogi Berra Museum. And Buster Posey, a few years back, had a chance to go over there, in fact, just a couple of years ago, to meet Yogi at the museum. The great catcher in the game today.
Are these the actual rings here? Now I get one of yours, right?
With Buster Posey getting a chance to meet Yogi Berra. Yogi played in 21 All-Star, not All-Star game, 21 World Series.
18-time All-Star, 3-time MVP.
Jake Peavy in the outside for a strike to Jerko, and it's 0-2. Yogi was not a big guy.
5'7".
And yet he hit a lot of home runs. He was one of the great power hitting catchers in Major League history. Right to Duffy. And Jerko, who singled his first time, is out number 2 here in the 4th. The Giants ahead 2-0.
And I think a lot of people that plugged into his bio today and read his life story as a baseball player were surprised to find out he was a war hero in World War II.
Yogi Berra grew up in the same neighborhood on what they called the Hill in St. Louis as his friend and, in fact, lifelong friend, Joe Garagiola. And a lot of scouts didn't think that much of Yogi Berra as a young player. The hometown St. Louis Cardinals gave Yogi a tryout, and they liked Joe Garagiola better. They signed Garagiola and not Yogi. But the Yankees had a scout who liked him, so they went for Yogi. And it wasn't early when he first started catching. He was a poor thrower, and they didn't like his pitch calling abilities. And a lot of the pitchers were very unhappy about Yogi, but he worked very hard on it and eventually became one of the best in the game at calling a game. And Casey Stengel, the Hall of Fame manager for so many Yankees champions, they said, "What's your secret, Yogi? What's the secret to having a good team?" And he pointed at Yogi sitting on the other side of the dugout and said, "Having that guy in the lineup every day. That makes me a genius." Late in his career, Elson Howard came to the Yankees. Much younger, excellent catcher, and an outstanding hitter. And so to get Yogi in the lineup, he started playing left field and sometimes right field. The year that Roger Maris hit 61 homers, Mickey Mantle hit 54 homers, 1961. Yogi Berra hit 22 homers in that team, but primarily as a left fielder.
Well, when the Pirates beat the Yankees in the World Series, the home run that got hit out of Forbes Field, who was the difference maker, got hit over the head of Yogi Berra. He was playing left field that day.
Next time you see a film of that home run, the famous home run by Bill Mazeroski to win the World Series, take a look at that left fielder going back on it.
I don't see too many 5'7" left fielders.
The bat ends up in 2, and a diving tag there by Jake Peavy to get the out. Well, that was no problem.
Kind of fun.
Jake Peavy decided I better just take this myself. And he did.
Big play at the Togo's way last night. Trevor Brown stepped up against Tyson Ross in an RBI situation in a 0-0 ball game. Launches one over the head of the center fielder Jankowski, and he gets his first big league hit. He gets his first big league extra base hit and his first big league RBI, and the Giants would never trail in the game. That's our Togo's big play the Togo's way. Trevor Brown.
Trevor, who then later got an infield hit in the 9th inning. 2-hit game for him last night. And Castner gets a called strike. Brown struck out his first time tonight. 2-0 Giants. We're in the 5th inning now here at Petco Park. And that slider is down, and the count is 1-1 strike. He got a hit in the neck last night. I think it was a pitch that hit Solarte and ricocheted off Solarte and up against the throat of Trevor Brown. And that's a fastball for a strike. And Bruce Bochy told us today that he was just right on the verge of deciding to take him out of the game. The Giants assistant trainer Anthony Reyes was out tending to him, and finally he convinced him that he should be able to stay in the game, because they were getting very concerned that he was going to be in some real trouble. There you see where the ball hit him.
He was our post-game interview. We asked him about that play. He said, you know, it wasn't bad at first. And he goes, and then I got dizzy. It kind of scared me.
Castner throws him out, 1 away.
Well, the play that ended it for the Padres was Jake Peavy. He's thinking, all right, I got this one. I'm going to flip it to Buster. There's no Buster. So he's got to run over and get the force play by himself. And for that effort, we're going to make it our forward right choice.
Jake Peavy. Sometimes you just have to do it all yourself. Peavy struck out his first time. And it's 0-1. Castner blew a fastball right by him. Up in L.A., meanwhile, on the out-of-town scoreboard, Arizona 1, L.A. 1, top of the 6th. Center field, Jankowski over toward right center. And so 2 down in the Giants' 5th inning. And Angel Pagan will come up. 2-0, the Giants ahead. Dodgers had Zach Greinke scheduled to go, and he had to be scratched with some stiffness in his calf. So Greinke out, and Carlos Frias ended up making that start for the Dodgers. Frias went just the first 4 innings, gave up a run. The Dodgers have been in the bullpen since. And there's a ball in the dirt for Arizona up there. Chase Anderson pitching. He's only allowed 1 hit. First batter of the game for the Dodgers. Chase Utley hit a home run, and that's the only hit that Chase Anderson has allowed so far. They're in the top of the 6th up there. 2-0 to Pagan. He led off the game with a walk, and that started a 2-run rally in the first inning. The only 2 runs of the game up till now. And Pagan was called out on strikes in the 3rd. And it's 3-0. Alejandro De Asa is on deck. De Asa has walked twice in this game. That's a strike. Cardinals won tonight. They clobbered Cincinnati 10-2. They hit 4 home runs in that game. 2 2-run homers by Matt Carpenter alone. That's a foul off the left field line. Full count now to Pagan here in the 5th inning. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Giants. No runs, 3 hits for the Padres. There's a guy repping the old-timey Padres.
Yeah, that was a gnarly uni.
He likes it. Some people like gnarly.
It was a great T-shirt, but you know they had that shirt with the same color pants, and then they had
that's not good.
Brown stirrups and yellow socks and brown shoes. You shouldn't wear brown spikes. Wingtips, yes. Brown spikes, no.
The old-timey Padres cap. 3-2 the count. And another walk for Pagan. It's 5 walks allowed by Cashner in 4 2/3 innings. That equals the highest walk total of his career for a single game.
Well, that's a lot of free passes, and more importantly, it's a lot of pitches. And here he is in the 5th inning, about ready to throw pitch number 95, and that's a lot. That's what he did in his start September 11th in San Francisco. Giants again in that game, they got him for a lot of pitches, a lot more hits that night than tonight. With the same amount of walks, 5 free passes then, 5 free passes tonight. And sooner or later, those walks will haunt.
Well, he has not been able to throw strikes to Alejandro De Asa. De Asa's been up twice and walked both times. Although he picked him off in the 3rd after the walk. There goes Pagan. Norris throw. And that's a steal for Angel Pagan, his 10th of the year.
Let's take a look at the jump. A high leg kick from Cashner. Big guy as he is, once he lifts that leg up high, he's just giving that base runner more opportunity to get in there safely.
Now base hit can mean a run. And a pop-up. Shallow left center field. There is Upton. And the inning is over. Still 2-0 Giants. We go to the last of the 5th. Peavy back to the mound. For the 5th inning here at Petco Park. And Travis Jankowski hitting 8th in the order will lead off. Then Cashner, the pitcher. And the leadoff man Solarte against Jake Peavy. Peavy's allowed 3 hits. He's issued 1 walk. There's a bunt foul by Jankowski over the screen, out of play. Duffy came rushing hard from third when Jankowski showed bunt. And it's 0-1. Jake Peavy's also made just a Jake Peavy kind of a play. Go all out, get dirty, do whatever it takes kind of a play to end the Padres' 4th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to count down.
Well, we watched it with Tim Hudson the other night, or the other day, I should say, back in San Francisco. We're watching it again tonight with Peavy. This is Trevor Brown's first time catching most of these guys in this Giant staff.
That is ripped hard. Short hop by Tomlinson. 1 away.
And they're just not shaking off Trevor Brown. They're just, he's got their confidence as a young catcher. Well, come out to support the Giants for the final regular home series. The Giants host the Rockies October 2nd through the 4th. Orange Friday, October 2nd. Saturday the 3rd starts at 1:05. And, of course, the Sunday the 4th is Fan Appreciation Day, and that's a 12:05 start. There are still tickets available for all 3 Rockies games. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets and check it out.
That Friday night, October 2nd game, the Willie Mack Award, the much coveted Willie Mack Award, will be presented. So if you're coming on that Friday, October the 2nd night, get there a little bit early. And as we understand it, a lot of the previous winners of the Willie Mack Award will be coming in for the occasion. So it'll be great to see a lot of the outstanding former Giants there that night. You'll be coming in, right?
I will. Would not miss that.
1-2 to Cashner, who grounded out to third his first time.
Good breaking ball. You know, and with Hudson and Peavy both, they can do a lot of things with the ball. So there's a lot of options there for Trevor Brown to consider when he puts down a sign. But both guys like to work quick. And to his credit, I mean, he's plugged the fingers in, and they're going right with it. They're not shaking him off.
That one ended up right out over the plate, that breaking ball, and it was fouled back out of play. 1-2.
Asked Bruce Bochy, you know, he's a former catcher. I said, Boch, I'm impressed with what this kid's doing. And for the most part, he's never seen these guys. He goes, you know, for a starting pitcher, he gets to warm them up. He at least gets that. He says, but what he's done with the relief guys, the hard throwers, Osich and Strickland and Broadway, says that's been impressive. You're seeing these guys for the first time in the line of fire. You're getting a few warm-up pitches to go. I mean, you can be surprised just like a hitter.
Cashner just got a piece of it. 1-2.
You see an explosive breaking ball. I mean, if you don't know what the break is on it, it's not an easy thing, not only to catch, let alone frame into a strike zone.
And the interesting part of it is with Trevor Brown, he wasn't just a guy who caught his whole life. Did he swing? No, says Joe West. Oh, no. 2-2. He played a lot of different positions. I asked Trevor Brown about it, and he said when he was a senior in high school, he started pitching and catching both. I said, how come? He says, well, our best pitcher and our best catcher had graduated, and we didn't have either one. Strike 3 call to Cashner. 2 down. Second strikeout for Peavy. So he said the coach said he should catch, and when he wasn't catching, he should pitch. And he said he really liked it. He liked the catching. And when he got to UCLA, he still played other positions, but did occasionally catch and also occasionally pitch. But the Giants scout who signed him told him, he said, we want you to be a catcher. You can hang up all your other gloves. We want you to focus on that. And he said for some reason, it really came easily to him. All the aspects of catching, ball blocking, the footwork and throwing, things like that, he just picked up right away.
Well, he's got a very compact throwing motion. He's a guy that doesn't even take a shuffle step. He'll catch it, rock back on his back leg, and let the ball go. His unload times have been really good. They've been consistently under 2 seconds, right around 1:85, 1:9. That's quick. Doesn't have a blazer for an arm, but with his release, I mean, you can make up for that.
Yangervis Solarte is flied out to right, flied out to left. He's 0 for 2. No balls, 2 strikes to count. 2 down, nobody on. Giants ahead 2-0 here in the 5th. Dodgers and D-backs still 1-1. Top of the 7th in LA. That one had a lot of movement coming back to the plate. Still off the inside. There is Bird. He will not get to him. Solarte will stop at second with a double. Third at bat for Solarte. And statistically, that's the time where Peavy has become most vulnerable, when they start coming up the third time through. Hit number 4 for the Padres. So here is Spangenberg, who has walked and grounded out to second. He hit a very soft ground ball to second, and Tomlinson turned it into an outstanding play back in the 3rd inning. Power follows. Matt Kemp is on deck. Way outside of that one. 1 ball, no strikes.
Trying to keep that ball on the outside part of the plate. Spangenberg, middle-in guy, proved that last night, hitting a home run above his hands on the inside corner. That fastball that's got movement running away from a 2-seam fastball. And from the low 3/4 release, you can accentuate the movement on that pitch, make that movement run bigger. Do not want to make a mistake. Middle in. You look at Spangenberg, you think, well, this guy's not a home run hitter, but last night he earned the respect of everybody in a gray uniform with the at bat that he had, hitting a high fastball above the hands out to right field for a home run.
Now Trevor Brown's going to go out and talk it over with Jake Peavy. I read the hit tracker online calculations on that home run by Spangenberg, because it seemed like it was in the air for half the night, and they said it got up 150 feet at its apex, which not many hit a ball that high that goes over the wall.
Well, that's up and in. I know it's a middle-in guy, but still, I mean, that ball's above the bell. That's impressive. To be able to barrel that and stay inside the ball long enough to keep it fair. Usually you hit a location like that, you're going to hook it foul. And that opens some eyes up.
Runner at second. And it's 2-1 to Spangenberg.
Well, this is a situation, too, where it's nice if you're Spangenberg, you're hitting in front of Kemp, who's got 98 RBIs. You're going to get something to hit here. He's got a 2-0 lead. The last thing he wants to do is walk Spangenberg.
A wild swing by Spangenberg, and the ball way off the inside. 2-2.
Good hard slider. I mean, his slider's been really, really good. And here, I think that Spangenberg thought this was going to come back out over the plate, like he's seen that 2-seam fastball before. He was surprised with that movement.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Jake Peavy about to throw his 20th pitch of the inning.
He's shaking off 3 pitches. 4. He definitely is going through the signs right now. And now he's going to come out and talk about it. He went through all 5 signs, so there's a location that he's missing here. This is an important pitch, and I like the fact that Brown's coming out there and Get on the same page with your pitcher. It's a big pitch. I mean, he's got a 2-2 opportunity here to go out of the strike zone. And he may try and go back inside with another slider off the plate. Bad.
He struck him out.
Change it.
5 strong in the books for Jake Peavy. Duffy, Posey, and Brandon Crawford coming up.
Giants Baseball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by the Association of California Water. Rethink your yard with SaveOurWater.com.
Well, Monday, September 28th is the Giants-Warriors Together We're Champions night. Your special event package will include a collector's edition Together We're Giants t-shirt. I want to get that, I want to get that, I want to get that. And a ticket to the game versus the Dodgers. Go to sfgiants.com/special events. I want to get that.
Do you know somebody?
We need to get that shirt. That's a good one.
Here is Cashner. Matt Duffy leads off. Shortstop, Jerko. And hard times for Duffy in this series. He is now 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts. 0 for 3 tonight. Buster Posey will come up now. 2-0. The Giants are leading.
Well, Cashner has had a lot to say about it, and he has pitched him tough. Giants have had really one opportunity, and that was in the first inning to score against Cashner, and they took advantage of it with a 2-out, 2-strike single that knocked in 2 from Crawford.
Ball 1 to Buster. Nick Vincent, the right-hander, and Mark Zepchinski, the left-hander, up in the Padre bullpen. That's a swing, says Joe West. On the outside corner, strike 2. Cashner, that was his 100th pitch of the night. Giants have just 2 hits against him, including that 2-run first inning single by Crawford. 2-2. Buster tonight has popped to short and fouled out to the catcher.
Now, we talked about the lifetime history he'd had against Cashner. It was severe ownage. Buster wearing him out, but he has not had good swings against them tonight.
That is foul. Nice pickup there by Solarte. But a foul ball. 2-2 the count.
Found a home. He's figuring it out. It's pretty special.
Caught by Solarte again in fair ground. 2 down.
Take a look at the breaking ball. Had a little hang time middle in. Buster Posey squares it up and never really got out of the box. He was hit so sharply to Solarte.
2 down, nobody on. Brandon Crawford, who the last couple of nights has started to look like Brandon Crawford again. He had big RBI hit in the 6th inning last night. A 2 RBI single in the 1st inning tonight. 0-1 the count. That was off the mask of the catcher, Derek Norris.
Norris is taking a beat tonight. Took a foul ball off his right knee earlier in the game, and it really stunned him. And here he's feeling this one too.
Two nothing Giants. 2 down, nobody on. We're in the 6th inning. Back out of play. 0-2 the count to Crawford. Crawford has had a fair amount of success against Cashner, including tonight. He's had 6 hits and 13 at bats against him. One of them a home run. High and foul. And this 2 out of play, well back on the left field side. 0-2.
Oh yeah. They didn't even know each other until that foul ball dropped over there. Now, fringe for life.
Another baseball true love story. That happens if you catch the foul ball, right?
Yeah.
It's life-changing.
That's why you bring your glove.
Oh, to the count to Crawford. Unless you're Billy Hayes, don't need a glove.
Not sweet hands, Billy.
Oh, that didn't miss by much.
That was a good pitch. It didn't miss at all. He just didn't get it. Little breaking ball, good hard snap, and sometimes you can surprise the umpire with a quick breaking ball.
That's the only explanation. Fooled both Crawford and Stu Schuerwater, the plate umpire. 1-2. 2-2 now.
But it just means more pitches for Cashner. That's 109 now.
Vincent, and only Vincent, warming up right now in the Padre bullpen. Struck him out with a changeup. Still 2-0 Giants with Kemp, Upton, and Wallace. The power coming up.
is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEFINS.com. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Here's our Geico quote from Bruce Bochy on the National League Western Division race with the Dodgers. You pick up a game and it makes it a little more doable. We have to go out and win. That's what it comes down to. Get it?
Perfect. Well done.
Well, we were a little concerned about Bradley Crawford after that swinging strike three. He was not looking as if he was feeling well. Let's take a look, Mike.
Well, changeups can do that to you. I mean, a little reach in the swing. You can see a little grimace. I think he had taken his breath away, and then he walked into the Giants dugout down the runway with trainer Eric Ortega. And there for the longest time, there was no shortstop out there. Finally, here he is. So we don't know how comfortable he is.
Matt Kemp down with a count of 0-2. Two strikes to count.
Well, he's out there at the shortstop position. He's taking inventory still.
Kemp takes that slider down and away. 1-2. Kemp has grounded a short and singled. One of the Padres' 4 hits against Jake Peavy is Javier Lopez getting ready in the bullpen. Wallace, the big left-handed batting slugger, is due up third in the inning. Justin Upton is on deck. Right back to Jake. So that's a big out in front of Upton, who has had a career of success against Jake Peavy. Tonight, Upton, he got ahead of the count in the first inning, and just when you thought maybe Peavy was just going to pitch around him, he threw him a strike on 2-0, and he crushed it to right field to the big part of the yard, and it was turned into an outstanding catch by Marlon Byrd to end the first inning. Upton fouled out to the shortstop Crawford in the third. But even so, with his 0-for-2 tonight, he is 9 for 19 against Peavy. 0-1.
You got a hanger to hit right there. I mean, guys who see you well, for whatever reason, it just seems like they get good pitches to hit too. And that was one to hit. And that was one he missed. Those numbers you're talking about. Just two different movements. One going hard away, the hard slider. And then he comes back in with a little backdoor sinker nibbling on the outside corner at 90 miles per hour.
One and 2.
I'm not happy with that one. That was an easy take. Does not have a lot of patience with himself, and he's always in constant dialogue. Just Jake and Mr. Peavy, the only two guys talking.
And that is all for Upton. So it's been a very nice night. I don't think he's had many nights like this against Justin Upton in the past.
Now, that's a perfect slider right there. He had count leverage sitting on a 1-2. You just need to bring this in and make it a little more inviting. And here he gets Upton to go chase. Strikeout number 4, and all 4 of his strikeouts have been swing and miss strike threes.
Two down, nobody on. Here is Brett Wallace. He is struck out and popped up to third. And that's the slider again. It's 0-1. Kevin Franzen has arrived. Franzen brought up today with the injury to Eri Adrianza, who has suffered a concussion on the ball hit by this man last night He must have hit that ball, what, 115 miles an hour?
He smoked it. As big and as strong as he is, it was a one-hop top spin bullet.
On the inside for a called strike 2.
I think if there's width on the corners with Shearwater, the plate umpire strike zone, I think he gives a little more on the first base side of home plate, on that side of the strike zone, than on the other side.
Just off the outside.
Outstanding pitch, though. I mean, that's 0-2 paralysis right there. So effective. So now you can go right back inside. You can come back to the same location with a slider and try and nibble from the back door. It just sets up so many things. Try and wrap that breaking ball around.
Left center field, medium deep. De Asa. And that's 6 shutout innings in the books for Jake Peavy. Dwayne Kuiper will be coming back from the radio side with Marlon Byrd coming up. It's 2-0 Giants.
Toyota dealer. Through 6 full innings of play, it has been a pitching duel between Jake Peavy and Andrew Kashner. For Peavy, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts on just 88 pitches. Kashner has had to work harder. 6 innings, 2 hits allowed, and 2 runs. The 2 runs coming with a 2-out, 2-strike swing of the bat base hit from Brandon Crawford that knocked in 2 in the first. He has walked 5, and that has been the difference really in this ball game. That is our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. 2-0 Giants are in the top of the 7th inning. And here to tell you all about it is me. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Nick Vincent, the new pitcher for the Padres. 21 games, he's 0-1 with a 2.41 ERA. Vincent, low 90s fastball, cuts a lot of pitches. Hard slider and a changeup. And now here to tell you all about it, 2-0 Giants. Here's Dwayne Kuiper.
Sorry, wasn't ready.
that was a broadcaster's balk there.
So Nick Vincent is the new pitcher. And it'll be Marlon Byrd who's going to lead things off. Giants with only 2 hits in the game, and they lead. And Byrd takes a called strike. Byrd has one of those hits, a 2-out single. And he had that hit in the 4th inning. Tomlinson to follow, and then Trevor Brown. Inside.
Changeup from Vincent.
I see too many fast changeups inside.
You do not.
2-2. Vincent going after Bird, and he got him.
Inside changeup. You're right. You don't see many of those. Not from a right-handed pitcher to a right-handed hitter.
So here's Tomlinson. Tomlinson is oh for 1. He drew a walk in the second inning. So Peavy's been terrific tonight. They scored 2 in the first, and that's all they've been able to get. Cashner settled in very nicely.
Oh, he really did. Here, the right-hander.
Sneak attack on that fastball at 90. 2-1. Brown to follow. 7th inning. Generous. 2-2.
Well, perfect location from a pitcher's perspective. Knee-high outside corner. So now if you're Kelby Tomlinson, you better expand.
Got him.
Front door slider. Nice pitch.
Didn't hear you.
Well, here's a Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag CSNBA Data Strong Fan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. This is Brianne Gardley with her little man, mother and son, homegrown San Francisco Giants fans. Nice. It's a good look right there.
So here's Brown. Brown has struck out and bounced out. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
Nick Vincent right now is looking like a world beater.
He is.
Carving up the strike zone with everything he's got.
Well, if Brown gets on, Peavy's night is over. It may be over anyway because you see Parker on deck. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Not the first time we've seen a pitching duel in this ballpark. It always seems it comes down to it. A lot of one-run ball games. Giants and Padres in the history of this ballpark.
Popped out to shallow right field. And that's going to end the inning. So Vincent with a nice job. And we'll see if he comes out. Petco Park. It's 2-0. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
New pitcher now for the Giants will be Corey Guerin. 4th time he's come in, and he's been impressive. 3 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3. He hasn't given up a base runner. What we see from him is a high sidearm release with low 90s sink on the fastball and a good hard slider and a changeup. Or hard sink and hard slider. I haven't seen that many changeups. Hasn't really faced that many left-handers where you'll see more changeups with him. But he's been impressive. Lots of movement. All right, time now for McDonald's True Stories. The Giants have clinched a postseason berth 7 times against the Padres. 1971, 1987, 1997, 2003, 2010, 2012, 2014. I didn't know that. They're good luck. And that's your McDonald's True Stories.
So here's Jerko. Jerko takes a strike. Jerko single in the 2nd. Bounced out the 3rd and the 4th. Shoots this one up the middle for a base hit. So that'll bring up Norris.
That's the first time tonight the Padres have been able to get the leadoff hitter on.
Norris tonight 1 for 2. He blooped a single in a shallow right field in the 2nd inning, and then he bounced one back to Peavy, who made the play himself in the 4th. Runs his pitch inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
You see Guerin come set, he kind of ratchets his glove down into a position just above the belt. It is definitely a distinctive way to get into your set position.
Norris swung at a pitch that wasn't close. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, first time you see the slider too, and it's a good slider. It's a quick one. But Norris, I'm sure, not happy with going after that one. 2 feet off the plate outside in the dirt. Josh Osich starts to get loose from the Giants.
And that pitch is high to a high slider. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's going good. He's going to get a lot of ground balls. And if you're an infielder, when he's out there, and he'll be on your toes.
Three and 1. This from Guerin has to be a strike. Three and 2.
2 times he's got out of the strike zone to chase. Hey, Bruce Bochy's here.
Skipper's uniform. See what Jerko does. It's 3 and 2. He does not go, and that's not even close.
Easy take. So with Josh Osich ready and the left-handed Jankowski coming up, that's it.
Parker's trotting out to right field. Osich is coming in. 2-0 Giants. Appreciation bobblehead prize pack giveaways. Each pack will contain one bobblehead and one additional Giants mystery item. Reminder, to get the bobblehead prize pack, you need to purchase a special event ticket to one of the 3 dates. Visit sfgiants.com/special events.
So Josh Osich coming in to pitch now for the Giants. He's done a nice job in 28 games, 1-0 with a 1.96 ERA, just about a strikeout an inning. He's given us 3 looks: a fastball mid to high 90s, hard slider, and a changeup. So Padres down 2 runs, always a possibility for a bunt in the situation. And that's significant because Jankowski's a good bunter and he's got excellent speed. A lot of pressure on Josh Osich and Matt Duffy.
So you expect a bunt right here. One ball and no strikes.
Also seen a nice left field approach with Jankowski, and they may turn him loose if they know he's going to get a fastball. And this is what you do in bunt situations: you give up fastballs. But you have to throw a strike. Glenn Hoffman, third base coach, giving the sign.
Maybe a strike, maybe not. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Just about average speed on the base pass for the Padres. Pretty good arms on the corner now with Jared Parker in the game in right field for the Giants.
So it's 3-2.
No, that's 4 pitches, 4 fastballs, and he's finally got him to a 2 strike here. It's an opportunity here for Osich to pitch for the strikeout. And he has not shown him the slider yet.
Myers is on deck.
Surprised at that. Stand with the bunt. Hunter Strickland finishing off his warm-up throws. Will Myers on deck.
So Osich now has to come in, otherwise you walk the bases loaded. Got a piece in and out of the glove of Brown, so we'll do it again.
Good fastball challenge at 94. Yeah. Looks like Will Myers wants to get in the batter's box with him. It's close.
Again, Brown taking a beating. At second is Jerko. He led the inning off with a base hit up the middle, and then Norris drew a walk on a 3-2 pitch. Got him
with a slider, and he saved it for the longest time. And on the payoff pitch, he puts a 90-mile-an-hour breaking ball right through Jankowski. And in a strikeout situation, he comes up big and gets that strikeout. Nicely done. Striking out Jankowski, who's a contact guy. That's not an easy thing to do.
So here's Myers. Remember, Myers in the original lineup. Wrist has been bothering him. He got scratched, but now in is a pinch hitter. Outside and low for a ball, 1-0. Brown calling for the changeup.
Osich slowing it down.
Tap foul.
And right. The same 90-mile-an-hour breaking ball he struck out Jankowski with. He comes back here in a 1-0 count. He likes his 3 pitches, and he's confident in throwing the fastball, the slider, or the changeup to either righties or lefties.
Right there, 1-2.
Back another 90-mile-an-hour breaking ball. That's a unique pitch in itself. Not a big slider. Doesn't have to be at that velocity.
Got him.
Changeup. Boy, I'll tell you what. He has 4 pitches. He has yet to throw him a fastball. A changeup, 2 sliders, and a changeup. And Will Myers heading back to the Padres dugout saying, "Who is that guy?" You can see the reaction from Trevor Brown. I mean, he liked that one. That's a changeup that was not only a great pitch, it was in a great location.
Solarte doubled in the 5th. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
Changeup.
Almost the same spot. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
One thing nice about establishing a changeup in the outside corner, it sets up the fastball in the hands. And if you throw a fastball here, you want to miss off the plate in.
Maybe into the gap. Harper's got to cut it off. He doesn't. And this game is tied. To the well. Maybe one too many times.
Well, I don't fault the pitch. It's just the location. They wanted a fastball. They wanted it down around the knees. And this thing just goes right back out over the plate. The easiest area to defend for a hitter between the belt and the letters. And really a nice job of going the opposite way with the location from Solarte. And as you said, you get a brand new ball game.
So here's Spangenberg. One ball and no strikes. Two RBIs for Solarte. He's now got 61 on the season. Back the tying run scored by Norris. Norris reached on a walk, and that's the one that hurts.
Well, you have to put it all behind you. It's a tough thing to do as a reliever. You give up the base hit that ties the ball game. You have to get your concentration back, and right now the Padres are going to take a timeout. There's something wrong with Solarte. Time of year. Guys are tired. Seen a ton of injuries this entire season. It just continues on into September. Little nagging injuries that you play through. All of a sudden, you hit a wall and you can't go any further with it. Obliques, lower backs, hamstrings, arms for the pitchers. Watch him going into second, and all of a sudden he gets a little biter, and that's it. Maybe be precautionary, we don't know.
Barmas is going to pinch run. Two ball game. Barmas now the runner at second.
Good hard slider there from Osich. A little anger behind that pitch.
So it's 3-2. Guerin allowed the hit to Jerko, the walk to Norris. So both runs in this inning charged to Guerin.
This will be the last hitter that Osich faces no matter what.
So the walk to Spangenberg. Bruce Bochy's coming out. And we're going to take a break as Hunter Strickland's going to come in. It's a 2-2 ball game.
Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
We'll stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants Postgame Live. Highlights, reaction, and analysis, and it's all coming up right after the game. New pitcher now for the Giants will be the right-hander Hunter Strickland. Take a look at what he has done in 51 games. Solid season. Strikeout an inning. Just 42 base runners in 48 and a third. And he inherits a hornet's nest with Matt Kemp stepping in against him.
So that's the matchup. Strickland, Kemp. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Kemp's going to look for one pitch. He's going to look for a fastball. He's going to look for a slider.
And
now he's seen both. He saw the first pitch fastball, and here he sees the 1-0 slider. And that furthers his education. And now in a 2-0 count, he'll look for one side of the plate, one pitch. Now, from Hunter Strickland's perspective, he's got a base to play with 2 outs, so he doesn't have to just throw him a cookie. Think good location.
Angel Pagan's got a beat on this one, and that's going to end the inning. Padres tied up. 8th inning coming up. It's 2-2. Final game of this series, pregame live at 5. First pitch right around 6, right here on CSN Bay Area. Pregame live, I believe I said 5. It's going to be at 5:30. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
So the setup man for the Padres, Joaquin Benoit, coming into the ballgame. 65th time he's come in. Solid season. 61 strikeouts, 62 in the third. He gets 23 walks. You're going to see a mid-90s fastball and a really good cutter. He also has a hard slider and a changeup. The changeup really is his bread and butter. I mean, it's, put that fastball in your mind, but he wants to get you out with that changeup. And that's good to both righties and lefties.
So here's Parker. And Parker's going to take wide. Parker, Pagan, and Diaz here in the 8th. Giants need a run or two to get back the lead. We do have multiple changes for you, and we'll get that to you as soon as we can. Parker, it's a high drive to left. Up and over at the wall. It is out of here. And that's an opposite field home run, and that gives the Giants the lead. Sounded good, didn't it?
Oh. This really is the benchmark of power. This ballpark to be able to do what he's doing and hit it opposite field. And this was not even in question. I mean, this backspin's way over the wall, off the facing of the second deck at the Western Metal Supply Company. Wow.
And Pagan lays down a bunt, and it's foul.
Jared Parker said the second time he gets back to the big leagues, I'm going to do it a whole lot differently than the first time. First time he said, I took too many pitches, I wasn't aggressive. That is not going to happen again. And boy, has he been true to his word.
Pagan hits a high pop-up into shallow left field. Upton's got a beat on this one, and he'll make the catch. Spangenberg moves from second to third. Barmes comes in to play short. Jerko moves from short to second. And here's Alejandro Diaz. Diaz is 0 for 1, a couple of walks.
Benoit, that's the 7th home run he's given up in 63 innings. If you're giving up 1 every 10 innings, I mean, that's pretty good. 1 every 9 innings is pretty good. Maybe not the same thing for a guy who's a setup man. That's a little high, perhaps. Nevertheless, made him go the opposite way, and he did. Tip your hat.
Well, once Parker did it, the next two guys thought they might try it. 2 down. And here's Duffy.
As he opened up some eyes in that Giants dugout. Bruce Bochy loves this kid, and why not? With what he's seen since he's been called up, he's a weapon.
Duffy takes wide. Duffy's 0 for 3 tonight. He's 0 for 7 in the series. Watch that average dip now into the 297 range. The pitch, bouncy ball slowly hit. Vandenberg off balance throw, and that'll end the inning. So after the home run, Benoit settles down, but Parker goes to the opposite field, and it's bye-bye baby. 3-2 Giants. Morning. I'll talk about the game with Murph and Mac on KMBR 680, the sports leader. Giants with a 3-2 lead. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service, your oil change tune-up and small experts.
Sergio Romo coming into the game now for the Giants. There are his numbers. 67 strikeouts against 9 walks. 2.92 ERA. He's really whittled that down. Romo, another solid season. He's allowed just 2 runs in his last 26 outings. And in those 26 in the third innings, he has struck out 31. He's walked 2 guys. Now that is a great second half.
Here's Upton. Upton's 0 for 3. On the ground, foul.
Heads up.
A little too much behind that one. As young lady chases it down.
She's upset.
She's not happy.
She wanted to make the play. Been waiting all night for a play. Oh, yeah. All right, one more look. Right between the wickets.
Oh. Whoop.
Yep. Definitely could be a future ball, babe. That's potential right there.
Upton is 1 for 15 lifetime against Romo. Got him. 2 strikes.
Good slider, though.
6 strikeouts in those 15 at bats.
Well, he hung the first 2 pitches, and that last one was not a hanger. That's as good as he's got.
Be careful. Pagan coming in. He's going to run it down. Nice running catch. Is Upton hit that towards the end of the bat. Didn't get a lot behind it. And a nice running play by Angel Pagan.
I didn't know if he could catch up to this. They had him shaded over to the right center field side. He had to come a long way. In the end, he catches it off the right knee.
Yeah, he's showing signs of being very healthy.
That is a play he could not have made earlier in the year when his knee was bugging him.
Couldn't stop.
Nice play.
So here's Wallace. Wallace is 0 for 3. Dodgers won, by the way. They beat the D-backs 4-1. So Wallace takes a strike. Good thighs on this guy.
He's solid. You can see where his power comes from. A lot of lower body strength. And he's got pop from foul line to foul line.
There's a shot to left. So that'll be a base hit. So Wallace is aboard, and that'll bring up Jerko. At this point, you keep the left-handed hitting Wallace in the park. All right, okay, let's move on.
No, you're right. Just a general conversation.
Here's Jerko. A couple of hits. And it's low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Not by much.
That's the pitch you hope you get the hitter to swing at. You'd have to say that Romo gets more of his strikes on swings than called strikes. 2-0.
And this becomes a big swing. And Jerko will definitely try and pump one out of here. He's got power, opposite field power. He will not get cheated on a 2-0 swing.
Three and 0.
So the familiar routine. Romo enters the mound from the first base side.
And a strike. Jerko took that one. If he likes the next one, he will not take it.
Some absolute paint. Jerko voicing some displeasure with body language. Nice reception there from Trevor Brown. That's what got the strike, the way he received it. A lot of balls that get down below the strike zone just a little bit. When you catch them, you'll jerk the mitt down. And in doing that, it takes away the pitch. If you stick that reception, you get that pitch.
And a base hit into left field. So that'll bring up Norris. Norris is 1 for 2. Lopez is getting loose. Now Broadway will join him.
Jankowski, the left-handed hitter, on deck.
One ball and no strikes.
You see the lifetime history between the two. 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts.
Swing and a miss.
So a nice 1-0 slider there. And if he keeps swinging at it, he'll just keep extending it off the plate away.
Parker's home run in the top of this inning gave the Giants the lead. On the ground, slowly hit. Crawford's only play will be at first. So both runners advance, and the hitter will be Jankowski. And we'll see who faces Jankowski, whether it's Romo or Lopez.
You also look at who's on the bench. If you bring in Javier Lopez to face Jankowski, I mean, are you going to pinch hit Melvin Upton? And they've got 4 right-handed hitters on the bench.
Jankowski is 0 for 3.
Coach, you're basically saying, hey, you're a closer, you can get lefties out, go get them. But it is an advantage with a guy like Sergio Romo, who has outstanding command, that he does have a base to play with.
He does. That's a base hit. Down the left field line. Both runs are going to score. And the Padres take the lead.
We have seen that approach from Jankowski in this series. I mean, he's got an outstanding ability to go to left field if you pitch him away. He tries to backdoor a little slider. Doesn't look to me like he's trying to do anything but hit the ball down the left field line. I mean, that's just great bat control. That's why the Padres like this guy. And that's a money hit. And that one hurts.
So Bruce Bochy's coming out. We're going to take a break. It's 4-3 San Diego.
Area, you'll get Giants clubhouse reaction. Alex Pavlovich live from San Diego and Matt Mielko on Colin Kaepernick. All that more right after the post-game live right here on CSN Bay Area.
4-3 lead for the Padres. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and smog expert.
Javier Lopez for the 71st time is coming into a ball game. 32 base runners allowed, 37 in the third. And for Lopez, two types of fastball, slider, a curveball, a changeup, all from a couple different angles he can come at you. Anywhere from a low three-quarter to a submarine style.
So Upton's going to be walked. He's the pinch hitter. This may be the only hitter that Lopez faces. How about that? Coming to the game. Walk a guy intentionally. Here you go.
Yeah. Well, the Padres have Clint Barmas, who came in the game. He's a right-handed hitter, and as you predicted, here comes Bruce Bochy, and we're going to get a new pitcher.
So Broadway's going to come in. 4-3 Padres. Broadway will face Clint Barmas.
The numbers for Mike Broadway: 16 games, 0-1 with a 5.02 ERA. Good stuff. Hard thrower, 12 strikeouts against 6 walks and 14 in the third.
Barmas hitting .245. One ball and no strikes.
Barmas likes the ball up. He's a good mistake hitter. And he's got a little pop in his bat.
And 23 home runs in 1 year for the Rockies. He did that, by the way, playing second. Well, you're not going to get too many at-bats in 09 with Tulowitzki.
So a breaking ball missing in. With Broadway, pretty consistent with the velocity of his fastball, as you see Craig Kimbrell, the closer for the Padres. But the breaking ball for Broadway, that has at times been inconsistent.
Diaz will put it away, and that'll end the inning. Damage done. Ninth inning coming up. 4-3 San Diego. I'm going to give it to Jake Peavy, who threw shutout baseball tonight. He did it through 6 innings. He was excellent. He does not get a decision. And this was a defensive play when he realized that Buster had gone for the ball. And for Peavy, he strikes out 4 in 6 innings, and he only allowed 3 hits. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog expert.
So Craig Kimbrell coming in now. 37 saves and 40 opportunities this year. 80 strikeouts and 55 in the third. Basically going to give 2 looks. It's a high velocity fastball, mid to high 90s, and a hard slider. The way he looks in to get his sign, he has an uncanny image if you're in that batter's box is a guy that's stalking you. He definitely does not lack presence as a reliever.
So here's Posey facing Kimbrel. And it's no balls and 1 strike.
And that's a great slider.
Crawford to follow. And then a pinch hitter. Outside corner.
And that's 98 with perfect location. You don't get 80 strikeouts in 50-plus innings if you don't have great stuff, and he's got 2 good kill pitches.
Only 3 hits for the Giants. Crawford a single to knock in 2 in the first. Bird a single in the 4th. And then Parker a solo home run in the 8th. That's it. To right. And Kemp dropped it. So Kemp could not hang on, and Buster Posey's aboard.
It'll be interesting to see how they rule this.
I think he lost it in the lights.
I agree with you. Low line drive is always a possibility to get lost in the lights, and he did not see it. He gets handcuffed with this. That's exactly what happened. It's right in the heel of the glove. And that's an error.
Crawford is 1 for 3.
Paints him in the outside corner. Crawford 1 for 4. The one hit he has against Kimbrel lifetime, a double.
Oh, and 1 to Crawford.
Tries the back door a little wide. Outfield playing straight up. A little slight pinching of the gap in left center with Will Myers, the center fielder, about 4 steps out of straightaway position. Other than that, it's pretty much where Abner Doubleday said you should play.
Down the left field line, that's a fair ball. Posey's going to go to third. Crawford's got a double. And the tying run is at third with nobody out, and the hitter is going to be Mac Williamson. How about that at bat?
Well, that's a strong top hand right there. And a little height to the breaking ball. He showed him his pitch early. Here's a hanger, and he goes right with it. I mean, that's outstanding ability to let the ball get deep to you and then go with the location the other way.
So here's Mac Williamson. And this would be the Major League debut for Mac Williamson. Why not?
You're going to throw him in the fire, throw him in the fire. And folks, this is the fire.
So this is what numbers between AA and AAA. Put on a display in batting practice like you can't even imagine. I don't need that right now. A base hit would be just fine.
He's a big guy, 6'4", 240. 25 years old. Former third-round pick in 2012. And that's what you do the first time you see the slider from Kimbrel. And Kimbrel knows that, just took advantage of it.
Posey at third, Crawford at second. Cap foul, so now it's 0-2.
Williamson lives in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Went to Wake Forest. And he's taken the at-bat he's dreamed about his whole life.
Very high, 1-2.
With Williamson being from North Carolina, good chance he was a Braves fan. And he knows all about Craig Kimbrel.
Squirts away, not far enough, 2-2.
It's a nice block from Derek Morris.
When you earn your keep with the tying run at third in the ninth.
Just wears it on the hit it between the chest protector and his right arm. Giants don't have great speed at third base with Posey. A pretty good speed with Crawford at second base.
But maybe dinged up. So here's Tomlinson. Tomlinson is hitless in 2 at-bats. He drew a walk in the second. Now the infield in. Strike and it's 0-1.
Again, taking advantage of that first pitch breaker ball. And guys throw 97, 98 miles an hour. And they will do that. If these guys are not going to get that batter's box and look for that slider, they're just not. Not on the first pitch.
Well, we've seen enough of Tomlinson to know that if he sees a couple of pitches, he's going to have a pretty good idea of what to do. He gives you a pretty good fight at the plate, especially in this spot. Two balls and one strike.
Best arm in the outfield for the Padres is Kemp in right field. Kimbrel pitching for the strikeout. Tomlinson trying to hit a fly ball deep enough to score Posey. That's going to take more than just a medium fly ball, especially if it's going to right field.
There's Brown. See if Tomlinson gets something to hit here.
They got a challenge at 97. Stocking. He paints him on the outside corner and gets the call. And Thomason heads back to the bench, frustrated. Right on the outside corner, and Thomason does not agree.
Well, one of the heroes of the win last night was Trevor Brown. Here he is again, this time, however, in the ninth. Now it'll take a hit or a mistake by the Padres for the Giants to score the tying and maybe the lead run. 1 ball and no strikes. Brown is 0 for 3 tonight. To Trevor Brown. Game time.
Holy smokes.
How about that? I don't know how you had it written up, but I saw that one coming.
With the short backstop here at Petco, it's not a guarantee when it goes over the head of a catcher. Remember, Posey does not have great speed, but he does have great instinct. Just beats the tag attempt from Kimbrel.
Tell you what, Buster Posey did a heck of a job.
It had to be perfect or he had no chance. Right over the head of Brown.
And you have to anticipate a little bit.
And watch the reaction from Posey. Zero hesitation. And you need every bit of that quickness.
So it's 2-0, and now the lead run is at third. You hear the Let's Go Giants cheer in the background.
That run lit this place up.
Look out. Foul.
Well, he was not impressed with 96-mile-an-hour fastball in his hands. Maybe a bit ticked off at that 98-mile-an-hour fastball whizzed right by his dome.
Almost got him in the helmet. Two and one to Brown. 3-1 to Brown. Well, Brown sit on something here. You can get it started a little early. Rolls this one to Farmas. And that's going to end the inning. Buster Posey with the mad dash down the third base line, and this ties it up. Bottom of the ninth coming up. 49ers fan is in-depth 49ers coverage every single night. Home of the official pre- and post-game shows of the team. Sunday to Sunday, the home of authentic 49ers is CSN. It's time for a change. Things speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
So George Cantos coming into his 70th game. We got a brand new ball game. 43 strikeouts against 11 walks and 71 innings for Cantos. League hit 200. Lefties 200, righties 200, everybody 200. You've done that this deep into the year. You've had a good solid season, and he has. Meanwhile,
man got hit right in the throat with that Trevor Brown line drive foul ball. And you see the Padre woman behind, very concerned, but he keeps saying, no, I'm fine. It's kind of like a trainer trying to talk you into being hurt.
Yeah, that's a good thing, though. He took a pretty good lick.
So here's Corey Spangenberg facing Cantos. On the strike. Foul back. In the dirt, it's 1-2.
Sean Kelly, the right-hander in the Padres bullpen. One nice thing about September, I mean, you don't really worry too much about the arms you have in the bullpen. You got lots of innings down there. No problem.
Spangenberg with a foul out of play. The guy you got to keep off the bases, not just because he's a leadoff hitter, but he's also a guy that runs extremely well. Kemp is on deck. Two balls, two strikes. Spangenberg, by the way, has been on base twice. Both times he reached was with a walk.
Cantos is shaking on 4 pitches. Now he's good to go. Tried to backdoor that slider. He thought he had it. Just a bit outside. Stu Sherwater, plate umpire. First time we have seen him. And he's done a nice job tonight. Strike zone he had the first inning is pretty much what he's calling right now. And for a young umpire, that's a feather in your cap.
On the ground to Duffy. Got him. Duffy realized that he had to go with the speed of Spangenberg.
Duffy took a couple extra steps here before he finally got rid of this thing off his right foot. But in the end, not even close. This is that uncanny knowledge that an infielder has with his arm and knowing the speed of his opponent.
Here's where the big fellas try to end it. And Kemp is a big fella. He's 1 for 4.
You're right. These next 4 hitters, it's a home run derby game for them.
Hit into the gap. So Kemp is going to be at second base with a 1-out double, and that'll bring up Upton.
Jeremy Affeldt heating up. Fastball was the pitch down around the knees that Kemp just went and got. Once he found a gap, Kemp got out of the box well. He was thinking 3 bags. Giants did a nice job keeping him at second.
Upton is 0 for 4.
Talking to Mark Gardner down that bullpen with the left-handed hitter Wallace on deck and Jeremy Affeldt getting heated up. You're probably going to see a pitching change after this intentional walk. Affeldt is the last of the 3 left-handers the Giants have in their bullpen.
Going to be Affeldt. Affeldt coming in, Contos departing. We're in the 9th. It's 4-4.
Pitcher Jeremy Affeldt is coming into this ball game. We'll take a look at the year that he has had. 47 games since he's come off the disabled list. He's little about a point off his ERA. He's been good. And when he's good, you're going to see a low 90s sink with a big curveball and a split. 20 strikeouts against 14 walks in 33 innings. Had to deal with a couple of injuries this year. He's all set to face Brett Wallace, and if you're wondering how he's done against Wallace, he has faced him 1 time. He's 0 for 1, well, actually 2 times, 0 for 1 with a walk. So they know each other a little bit.
So Affeldt ready to go. Wallace steps in. Wallace had a base hit off of Romo in the 8th inning, and that's what got the 2-run rally started. just outside for a ball, 1-0. Up on the infield fly roll will be called as Tomlinson will put it up. 2 down. And Jerko's the hitter. And Bruce Bochy's coming out.
So job well done from Jeremy Outfield to get the left-handed hitter. Nice fastball into the hands, pop up, and now it's going to be Santiago Casilla to try and get them out of this jam.
So Effelt departs, and here comes Casilla. Casilla will be facing Jed Jerko with 2 outs and the potential winning run at second base.
So the Giants bring in their closer, Santiago Casilla. And in 61 games, 4.2 with a 3.02 ERA. A 35 save season for Casilla. And over a strikeout an inning, you're going to see low to mid-90s with the fastball 2 times a movement, a cutter, a curveball, and a changeup.
Jerko's had 3 hits tonight. Kemp is the runner in scoring position. He's at second base. Breaking ball, I guess high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Big curveball. So try to sneak attack him with a little curveball to start things out. He'll be leaning. Not the end of the world if he walks him or if he hits him, because they do have a place to put him. But right now, Casilla's got to find some confidence in the strike zone.
Left center field, and that's the ball game. So the Padres win it here in the 9th on the 4th hit for Jerko. And this one knocks in Matt Kemp. And the Giants, who had a 2-0 lead in this game, lose one here at Petco Park. Got one.
Well, indeed. Sort of a gut-wrenching loss here. They had opportunities, and with their bullpen, it doesn't usually slip through their fingers. Tonight, however, a different story. This one hurts.
Final score, Padres 5, Giants 4. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live starts right now.